Okay, now that we have all 22 and can really dive into, all 22 players on the field, I wanted to go back and look at Jalen Ramsey because it's kind of funny how we do this. We're heading into a game. We always think, oh man, can't wait to watch a great receiver go against a great corner, right? Like in this game, everyone was saying, oh man, Ramsey versus Chase, that's going to be awesome. And then we watched the broadcast footage where you don't see them on most plays, so it's kind of irrelevant. But obviously, it had a huge impact in the game itself. Let's talk about that impact. And first, I kind of want to talk about some stuff that was good. We can start off with this play. It's going to be man coverage right here. You're going to see a decent amount of, if not man coverage, one-on-one matchups, whether it's Ramsey on Chase or on other guys. This time, he is on Ja'Marr Chase. This is a one-on-one matchup, and it's on a 4th down and 1 early on in the game. As you see right when this play begins, you have some traffic in front, which now is going to make things difficult for Ramsey to get over and potentially knock the ball away from Ja'Marr Chase. But look how Ramsey finishes well. And granted, there's a linebacker in the way. He knocked it away. I'm not sure if that was complete anyways. It's not a horrible throw for Burrow to make. You have to make, oftentimes you have to throw to your first read pretty quickly. Against the Rams, you don't get a lot of time there. But this was, I would say, a good finish on a play where it was schemed up to help Ja'Marr Chase. So there certainly was some of this stuff. Let's go over here now. I just want to show some good plays from Ramsey. This one was more of a setup route, but still, you see how he's along with Chase the entire way on that play. So that was a good coverage play by Ramsey. This one, you could argue there was a bit of a hold on this play on Higgins, but still, you are going to see him give up very little separation. Could have had a chance at an interception, knocks it away, does not give up the touchdown. And at a couple of deep shots on these one-on-one matchups where you see that Chase is not going to be able to get much separation against Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey stays with him the entire way on this play. Also, this one, Ramsey has a little bit more separation, but still, or a little bit more space he's giving him, but still does a great job of sticking with Ja'Marr Chase. So that stuff did happen. And now going over to one like this, which I'm going to break down a little bit more because it's, I think there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Because again, there were plays where Ja'Marr Chase was not getting open against Jalen Ramsey. That was happening. What you're going to see here is Ramsey is going to create contact and just push Ja'Marr Chase out of bounds, which you might be saying, wait a second, can you do that far down the field? Well, you can if the quarterback is outside the pocket, which Joe Burrow was in that play. So good awareness from Jalen Ramsey to realize that and knock Chase out of bounds. And then, Chase could have reestablished back inbounds and caught the ball at that point because he was pushed out. He didn't go out under his own power. But still, that just kind of goes to show, good stuff from Ramsey. He was not getting his ass kicked all game by any means. But, of course, there still were some bad plays as well from Ramsey. Like I saw some people on Twitter talking about, no, Ramsey was actually good in this Super Bowl. There was just, a couple of issues with, the one big shot to Ja'Marr Chase. I'm not sure if I go that far. Like, first, let's talk about that deep shot with Ja'Marr Chase. And honestly, this one isn't even going to be horrible coverage by any means. It's, again, a one-on-one matchup. It's zone coverage. Chase is running a go route. And Burrow doing the right thing, saying, let's just throw the ball up there. Look at how right when this play begins, Burrow takes the snap. He's going to just throw it up before he knows if Chase is open because that's what you want to do. You're giving your player a chance. This is why they call it a 50-50 ball because who knows who's going to win, but you're just trusting your guy here. And it's not even horrible coverage by Ramsey. You see, there's not much separation. It's really going to be the finish here. Look at how this is a perfect throw and just a great catch from Ja'Marr Chase. Ramsey tried to interfere at the end there just to see if he could, hopefully not allow Chase to make the grab and maybe the flag won't get called. The flag wasn't called, but Chase still made the grab. So that's kind of something that Jalen Ramsey, could you argue it's a bad play? Sure, you could argue it. I mean, it's hard to argue the contrary, actually, because he did give up a big passing play on that one. But, kind of the way I view this is, okay, you got beat by Ja'Marr Chase. Who hasn't gotten beat by Ja'Marr Chase this season? Join the long list of people who have already gotten crushed by Ja'Marr Chase. I'm not really going to freak out too much about that or kill him too much for getting beat by Chase. And I also think you could make some of an argument of, I remember when Stephon Gilmore won Defensive Player of the Year. If you remember, he got lit up on the final game of the season by Devontae Parker, which seems like that's a bit of an odd thing to happen. But part of why it happened was Ryan Fitzpatrick wasn't afraid to throw to Devontae Parker, and Gilmore was so used to not getting thrown to. It seemed like he got surprised on a couple of those plays. Maybe that happened to Ramsey. Guys don't typically try him anymore, so when Burrow wasn't afraid to try him, that kind of took him by surprise a little bit. Maybe that's a possibility. Like, I also want to mention, a couple more plays where maybe we didn't notice live, but happened. This play where you see where Chase and Ramsey are on the field. And as you see, Ramsey's going to get burned right here. This wasn't a go route, and also Burrow wasn't looking in that direction, so it worked out for the Rams. But that could have been, if that was a go route, and that was where Burrow was looking, that's a touchdown right there. So, and that would have definitely colored our opinion a little bit more of Ramsey. So this is kind of the tough life of being a corner is, if you win on 90% of matchups, it's a bad game for you. I guess we can talk about the other touchdown, might as well. I don't really consider it that bad of a play by Ramsey. I think, he got interfered with. That's what I saw. Because you see, it's going to be a one-on-one matchup with T. Higgins this time. Ramsey didn't move around as much as maybe some people thought he would. He kind of just, for the most part, got on one side of the field and covered whoever. It seemed like he, they kind of made an effort at times to get him on Chase, but sometimes they just said, cover whoever's on your side of the field. Right when this play begins, you're going to notice that for Jalen Ramsey, it's not bad coverage. Like, again, kind of similar to the last one. You could throw it up there if you want to, but on the last play, Burrow made an absolutely perfect throw. This time, it's not going to quite be that way. As you see, Ramsey had good coverage, but Higgins pulled him aside and then was able to make the grab and get the touchdown, which, hey, if you're an offensive player, don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to make some contact. I think that's totally a good strategy sometimes, is because worst case scenario, you get a 10-yard penalty and, it could have been intercepted if you didn't do that. So the risk reward is totally worth it for T. Higgins. I'm not mad at him for taking a chance there. Sucks that it wasn't called and that the ref just didn't see the face mask. And again, from certain angles, you can see it's a tough job. I get it. I'm not saying I would have made it if I was on the field, but did Ramsey and the Rams have a right to be upset about it? Absolutely. I think something like this was a way that they were able to burn Ramsey a little bit too, and maybe something the Bengals should have tried a little bit more of, which is, okay, Ramsey's now giving Chase some space, but doesn't just throw the ball to Jamar Chase. Look at how, the threat of Chase running deep is going to, give him a little bit of a cushion past the first down marker, and that was on third down. Burrow just short hopped it a little. So, that could have been a very key play for the Bengals had it been just a slightly better throw. And maybe you could have gone back to that as well. So little things like that were ways you could have had more success. Like right here, this is exactly what's going to happen. This was on that final drive, and this is what they were going to do. Look at how, Burrow is going to throw it and hit Chase, and Ramsey, overcommitted and ends up getting burned right there. But part of it was because he was playing a little bit further off to start that play because he doesn't want to get burned deep for a touchdown. So that's maybe an avenue that, if the Rams and Bengals were playing again, and this was a best-of-7 series, well, then for Game 2, that's the main thing I'd be looking at, is saying, okay, let's go back to this matchup. Let's try to exploit that a little bit more, so maybe Ramsey got a little bit lucky there. And then, of course, finally, I made a whole video breaking down this play where, a lot of people said, oh, there was a receiver wide open, but they just didn't have time to get it there. This was the Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase meme coming to life. Not exactly true how that happened, because if Burrow wanted to throw to Chase here, he could have just thrown to Chase here. Like, this was a pre-snap read. This isn't a post-snap read. Like, he knew it was a one-on-one matchup. But also, as you see, if Burrow did throw it up there, Ramsey is going to eventually stumble, and that could have potentially been a touchdown had that been a jump ball. So, again, was it like bad coverage by Ramsey? He fell down. It's unfortunate. So, yes, it is bad coverage because you left him wide open 3.5 seconds into the play. But, again, at least you didn't leave him wide open immediately into the play. And I guess stumbling does happen. Just sucks that it happened on the biggest of moments. But luckily for you, Burrow did not throw it there. He was looking on the other side of the field. And then, like 2 seconds into the play, Aaron Donald was creating pressure. So all that happened. So, yeah, that's my thought on Jalen Ramsey and his performance in the Super Bowl. Was he good, actually? No, this was not a good Jalen Ramsey performance. I don't think you could even argue the contrary, quite frankly. Was he, garbage? No, I wouldn't say that either. He did have some nice moments. This was a bad day by his standards, but part of it was just the competition he was going up against. He's going up against a great receiver. You're going to have to kind of hold on for dear life a little bit, and he actually had a lot more one-on-one matchups against Chase than I realized watching it on the broadcast footage. So while you could certainly sit here and say, oh man, Ramsey, he got burned left and right in this one, the reality is there's some teams sitting here that are probably saying, man, if only we had a corner who did what Jalen Ramsey did to Jamar Chase, and when we played him, we would have beaten the Bengals. So, that's kind of the reality of the situation. The reality of being a corner in football, especially one who's not afraid to talk trash, is you're going to get criticism when you get burned, but that's part of the gig. So that's what I thought about Jalen Ramsey. Not his best day, but maybe not as bad as some people think, and also maybe not quite as good as I saw a couple people on Twitter saying. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.